Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dragon Age 2 with Chaos Counseling. Um, what the? Oh, for fuck's sake. I literally just grabbed something to have it ready, and now I can't find it. Here we go. I cannot do a good intro to save my life these days. Hello, Muffin. How are you? Yeah, I mean, let's be real. Markiplier probably was a very prominent inspiration for the channel, whether consciously or unconsciously. I mean, hell, I know Flays, for example, when things first started, had to actively be like, don't imitate the Game Grumps. So let's be real. It's hard to not emulate other people, if you know what I mean. So last time, well, we just did some more that quest. Last time we just did more of the side story, albeit we did team up with Meredith. Everything is inspired by something, and there's nothing wrong with that. I agree. Although we did end up teaming up with Meredith, well, not teaming up with Meredith, but working with Meredith to figure out, just to catch 3 mages who escaped the circle. One of them turned out to just be an idiot who just wanted to get laid once. 2 other people, they both were psychotic blood mages. And yeah, like I said, those are like the only 2 examples I can really think of that are obvious in this game of someone from the circle being crazy. But the problem is it's made very clear they only went crazy because of just how oppressed they are. I don't know. Like I said, I love this game. Don't trust anyone named Meredith. You shouldn't trust this one. Like I said, I absolutely adore this game. It is my favorite Dragon Age game, but the climax between the mages and the Templars could have been made a little more ambiguous. But as I've mentioned in the past, most of the mages that are evil don't have anything to do with the circle. So it doesn't hit as hard as it could have. Sorry, I know that technically I have been spoiling the dilemma or the climax of this game the entire live stream, but this game's 14 years old. Excuse me. I'm a little less concerned with spoilers, and especially since one of my main reasons why I like live streaming games I love is that, thank you, I appreciate the blessing, is because I like being able to look at these games through a more critical lens and kind of realize, okay, where did these games fall short? Where did they excel in areas I didn't notice before? And when was I just outright wrong about a game? Because, I mean, Tales of Graces, for example, that was one of my favorite Tales games. Yeah, after live streaming the HD remaster, that, I don't really know if I can say that anymore, because now that I looked at it through a much more critical lens, oh my god, yeah, it's a lot harder to defend. I still like it. I still may recommend it, but the story is not that great. I digress. I think what's important at the end of the day is that the dilemma between the mages and the Templars is, it really kind of boils down to, it's less about the actual people involved and more just how you as a person or as a player, let's see, if you want to not be spoiled, don't watch something about a game, but also look for playthroughs that are from people first time as well, to say you've, as you, yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that, Muffin. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know some people, like, Flays did a playthrough of the Danganronpa games, and even though she had played them before, she did kind of have a no spoiler rule in her comments, because well, Danganronpa is a borderline mystery game, so you kind of need to not spoil it to get the full impact from those games, you know? But this game's not an outright mystery. What's more is that, so, for example, my brother-in-law, the first Dragon Age game, and I think the only one he's played, was actually Inquisition. So, even if he went back and played this game, not having never played it before, certain plot points in Dragon Age 2 would already have been spoiled for him. So, yeah, it's one of those things that, you know, being spoiler-free is still good, but, yeah. That's why, oh, wait, her song, that's a one-handed sword, right? Oh, that's a two-handed sword. It's technically weaker than the Great Sword, but it's got a rune slot and has way more buffs, so we're going to actually give him that one. Mostly just because her song kind of has like an epic... That just has like an epic name to it, and I am a basic fucking bitch when it comes to this sort of thing. So I get each game, and person has to decide how they want to do. But when they're playing a game, they have to play. It's not really, and it's a really old game, then there should be less expectations, no spoilers. Yeah, no, and I agree with that. I mean, especially since I feel, again, with this game in particular, along with like when I streamed Tales of Symphonia and Tales of Graces, part of the point was, again, is I wanted to more critically analyze this game, you know, and I feel like I can only do that if I'm like, okay, let's talk about what this leads to, if you know what I mean. By the way, I'm robbing the graves now because there's no consequence besides, oh, we have to fight some corpses, but I want to fight the corpses because I want the experience. But if you play Dragon Age Inquisition, there's an opportunity to loot an ancient elven grave site. Don't do it. Like, for real, don't do it. Yeah, you get some good equipment, but you're locked out of several quests, and honestly, the experience you get from those quests is better than the equipment you get. Dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow. I mean, to be fair, I kind of already dishonored myself in this playthrough because I let a slaver go because Isabella asked me to. And Isabella's my BFF, so I agreed, so... I mean, technically I've already dishonored because I've been kind of ignoring roleplay for the sake of, I want to show you guys specific outcomes, for lack of a better word. Actually, speaking of blind playthroughs, I've actually done something I swore I would never do. It's not on the edgelord poll that I closed earlier this week, but so whenever I close an edgelord poll, I always make the next one just so I have it ready. I've put a game I have never played on the edgelord poll. Just because...
Mythal, All-Mothers, protector of the people, watch over us, for the path we tread is perilous.
Oh boy.
Save us from the darkness, as you did before, and we will sing your name to the heavens.
Yeah.
Sorry. I didn't mean to hold us. You just... It's never wise to ignore Mythal.
Who or what is Mythal?
If you want to know that, you need to
She's
play
the
the next two
protector,
games.
The mother of the creators. The one who put the moon in the sky. Wisest of all the gods.
Haha, no,
When
she
Elganon
was
defeated
not.
his father, the sun, the earth was plunged into darkness. Everything was about to perish.
Wait,
Mythal appeared
Elganon?
then, calmed Elganon, and restored the sun to the heavens. The people always looked to her for help.
Yeah, okay. Now that I've played Veilguard, hearing the name Elganon just casually dropped hits way differently. Okay, I say that as a joke, but that's what I like about Dragon Age, is these little things that are just casually dropped here and there, especially when it comes to the Elven religion. come back and have huge meaning in later games. Because, I mean, like, in the last stream, I gave Meryl a ring that she's like, oh, it's a ring depicting Fen-Harel. And you actually, Fen-Harel the Dreadwolf, and you actually hear the name Fen-Harel and the Dreadwolf dropped just casually in the first 3 games, just as part of the Elven mythology. Well, the 4th game was originally titled Dragon Age Dreadwolf. It was eventually switched to Veilguard because they wanted the name to be after the main characters rather than the Dreadwolf. But yeah, the Dreadwolf is a major character in the 4th game.
If she's temperamental, maybe I should join you.
It wouldn't hurt. They say if Mythal smiles on you, then you need fear nothing at all.
But yeah,
But
like,
those who anger
the 4th
her
game,
are
we
struck
get
from the
an
earth, as
in-deep
if they never
look
lived at all.
into the history of Mythal, the Dreadwolf, and Elganon in particular. I won't spoil that too much, besides just saying that Elganon and Mythal are important in the game. And even then, it's not really a spoiler too much. But because Veilguard is less than a year old, I'm not going to spoil that game for any people watching. But the first Dragon Age game came out in 2009. This came out in 2011. Inquisition came out in 2013. They are all over a decade old. I feel less inclined to hold back on spoilers for those first 3 games. Mixed them out with water dust. Rajira, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, and they mention it so casually, randomly here and there, but then one future season, Wajara isn't unleashed. I mean, that's how you world build. You present something in a way that the characters talk about, but not in a way that's so that scene with Mythal. Yes, you have the option of asking what's the deal with Mythal, but if you didn't want to, you could just move past it. And you'd still understand what was going on because you can see, A, you don't really need to know who Mythal is in that situation, and B, all you need to understand is what Mythal means to Meryl. So then when it actually comes back up at a later point, that's when you can really dive deep. You said Wajara's name perfectly, actually. Okay, good to know. But
to Winter, maybe? Away from Kirkwall, that's for sure.
yeah, no kidding. Actually, one other thing I do like about, again, later games, you know, now that I've played Veilguard, just how like you saying, why would the elves bury their dead all the way up here where the veil is so thin? But now that we know more about like the elven history and the elven gods, it actually makes a lot of sense in retrospect, you know. That's why I am disappointed with just the steady decline in BioWare's games. That's frustrating. And the fact that Veilguard wasn't... I mean, I think Veilguard gets more hate than it deserves, but it also wasn't good enough to justify the 10-year delay in its release. But... where was I going with that? Right, I was focusing on primal. Feel the primal instinct inside. But... sorry, yeah, I completely forgot the point I was making. I will say, though, as fun as it is, with how, like, the Elven... just seeing all this payoff for the Elven gods in the next 2 games, I will say the next 2 games unfairly favor the elves, in my humble opinion. Like, you get... so when... I've only played through Veilguard once, and Abby's only played through Veilguard once. She played a Kunari, and I played an elf. And I actually got way, way more unique dialogue options than she did, because I was an elf. Now, when we get to Veilguard. I'm actually going to play a dwarf just because there is some extra lore stuff for dwarves in the fourth game, and I kind of want to see if dwarves do get some dialogue options there. And I basically never play as a human if I can help it, just because you're always forced to be a human in so many games. So variety, it's the spice of life.
Something is wrong. This is where the spirit was bound. But now it feels empty.
Maybe it freed itself?
It would have taken powerful magic to break him free of this prison. You couldn't just set him loose. Nobody could. Not without doing something terrible.
What do you think about snake people as a concept? Do you find snake people interesting? It's a humanoid-ish, but mostly snake. Honestly, I mean, okay, I've seen a number of different designs for snake people.
Who bound this
I
human here?
like snake people. I think they can be pretty cool. Like, I'll be honest, Lamia in particular, that's a type of monster that I find pretty cool and pretty attractive. Because I've seen plenty of sexy Lamia.
A final vengeful strike.
Oh no, Fenris is clipped out of existence.
To teach our people that resistance was futile.
I don't know if it was the Elvenan or Tevinter who bound the spirit. He was left here from
that being said, I personally think it would kind of suck to be a snake person, just due to the fact that you'd be cold-blooded. That would kind of stink to be a fully sapient being like a human, but be cold-blooded, you know?
How are we going to finish the mirror now?
I don't know. I don't understand what's happened. How can he be gone?
Why happened?
Keeper, what have you done?
The demon's plan was always for you to complete the mirror. It would have been a doorway out of this prison and into our world. You would have been his first victim. I couldn't let that happen, Dalen.
Yeah, the funny thing about that is that's bullshit. Like, this is something that I've actually did some online research because I never fully... I'm like, okay, given that what I know about the Alluvions in later games, like, what actually was the demon's plan here? And while they're not 100% sure, the Alluvion, well, it does let you enter... it doesn't exactly let you enter the Fade, per se, but it lets you enter a realm that's adjacent to it. The spirit is not in the Fade. The spirit is trapped in that statue, meaning even if she finished the mirror, the demon couldn't have escaped through it. Because A, the demon's not in the Fade, and B, the mirror doesn't actually get into the Fade. Not completely, anyway. So the Keeper's just being a was just a kind of a dick here.
You didn't think to mention that the demon was gone before we hiked all the way up here.
Hawk, you're an ass and I love you.
It's not gone. I couldn't fight it in the Fade while it was trapped. And I couldn't banish it without making it stronger.
Bullshit.
So, I made myself its prison.
That was a stupid idea.
Kill me, and it dies too. Meryl will finally be safe.
I'm just gonna throw us out there. Even if it broke into the real world,
you can't.
We would be perfectly capable of defeating it because we've defeated abominations and spirits before up to this point.
You always knew your blood magic had a price, darling. I have chosen
some snake people have the tails, while some have actual legs. They live mostly in Ninjago solar systems, specifically in previous campaign. Industrial Stone Warriors. Interesting. You wouldn't think that snake people could live comfortably underground. Well, then again, I guess if there's proper thermal heating underground, that can make up for the lack of sun, you know. Then again, I might just be overthinking this because, Oh, yeah, so this is something I do kind of like. While you're fighting this, spirits of... So there's Pole, who died fleeing Meryl, albeit I'm going to stand by that he didn't have to die. It's actually technically the Keeper's fault that he died. Oh, there's Tamlin from the first game. I didn't recognize... The other ones were just called, like, Elf, whatever.
Everyone has fed me.
But yeah, admittedly, I might be putting more thought into the whole cold-blooded thing than most people would. Because most people would just be like, reptilian people are cool, which, to be fair, I agree with. I mean, hell, case in point, probably one of my favorite races to play in Elder Scrolls are the Argonians. Mostly because they can breathe underwater, and especially in Skyrim, being able to explore the bottom of the ocean in the north without restrictions is pretty cool, because there's a lot of sunken wreckage. But given that that's an Arctic sea, realistically, an Argonian should be, you know, crashing in that. But
darling, you are so much stronger than I
originally,
imagined.
but they fixed up the tube to quite
The
a nice
demon
home
is dead.
with fire, and they were able to
Keeper,
get plant life under there. That's good.
Let's leave this awful place. The clan should hear the good news.
You told us that the demon was bound to your life. It would only die with you.
Irabalas, Keeper.
Again, this didn't need to happen. Again, like I said, I did a little reading online, because this quest has always
Keeper.
bothered me, especially now that Veilguard is out.
What have you done? I don't want this. I never wanted this. Creators, please let this be a bad dream. I'll wake up and feel like an idiot, and she'll scold me for not listening.
Getting possessed never helps anything.
If she hadn't have been so stubborn, if she had listened to me. She never believed
You know,
in
and
me.
I know that this is meant to kind of, to really emphasize
the clan.
Meryl's naivete.
Someone needs to know, needs to come. And
Yeah, like,
Take
don't get me
care of her.
wrong. I understand that this is really meant to be kind of the epitome of Meryl's naivete, ignoring all the warnings and whatnot. And yes, I want to be clear, that does still work here. But like I said, I was always kind of curious. It's like, because I went online, I'm like, what's the deal? Like, what's the full deal with this demon and this quest? And from what I found online, it's that it's like, actually, the Keeper was just kind of wrong. Like, yeah, messing with the demon is not smart, but Meryl, again, with our help, would have been more likely than not safe. Plus, the demon couldn't have escaped through the mirror anyway, because it wasn't in the Fade. So, yeah. Especially given what we learn in the later games, having a working Alluvian is actually a very good thing. I like how they bloodied after they get blood on them, but at the same time it's kind of disturbing. Doesn't happen often, I think. Yeah, it's also a little inconsistent when blood gets on the character models, if I'm being honest. So, fun fact, the first time I ever played this game, I played a red hawk instead of a purple one. And, well, you know what, I'll follow it up after this.
We know the Keeper came here. What's going on? Where is she?
Fenrir, the Keeper, she...
Look at her, Fenrir. She's covered in blood.
Yeah, but that's just a Tuesday for
What
us.
have you done, Meryl? Keeper, can you hear me?
She's dead.
I should have guessed you'd turn on her. You monster.
This was a tragedy. I promise you, I'll make sure no one else is hurt by Meryl's blood magic.
You expect us to take the word of a Shemlin?
Stand down, Aneria. She was our first once. The Keeper loved her. More than she loved the clan, it seems.
Fenrir, I'm sorry. I never wanted this. If I could have saved her, if I could have died instead, I would have.
Words are cheap. That you're still breathing says enough.
Enough, Aneria. Human, take Meryl away from here.
So, yeah, I know that I get a fuck ton of rivalry from Meryl for saying that. But, like, the reason I brought up that I was playing a Red Hawk originally is that there's a possibility that, yeah, you break into a full-on fight with all of the Dalish clan, and you potentially have to murder them all. And since I don't want to do that, because I do like the Dalish elves, and... Actually, what does this one look like? That is, like, my least favorite robe design in this game. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one to Meryl, since that is technically the Keeper's staff, so let her keep that. But by basically saying, I'll take responsibility for Meryl, it's your way of... I think you can still technically avoid a fight if you say something else, but I don't think you can if you play a Red Hawk, since Red Hawk is aggressive. Now, I don't remember for sure, but I think it's possible. Like, the reason I hit up the Elven shop real quick before I, before I went up there is because I think the Dalish elf will no longer trade with us since Meryl's our companion and she got the Keeper killed.
On useless history. But what are you doing? The past is important to you and to all of us. We must know it to move forward.
Yet I have made no deal with a demon to learn of my past.
Yeah.
You had a life, you had a family, and you abandoned them to chase after ghosts. We are nothing alike. Don't even begin to think that we are.
Yeah, well, yeah, Fenris, with how much he hates mages, there's no way on Earth he'd ever actually be friends with Meryl or Anders. Like, that's just not possible. Like, again, it actually takes a big deal for him to become friends with us.
Elganon, 6 years in the...
I could have sworn there's supposed to be a follow-up to that.
You can't fix the holes in the roof.
That's weird. I swear, if the game quest glitched, I'm gonna be sad.
Elganon, 6 years in this place, and I still can't fix the holes in the roof.
Okay, Isabel, can you equip those daggers yet? Yes, she can. Cool. Yeah, the that dagger on the right side, I've always really liked the way those look. Okay, maybe Meryl just needs some time and then the quest will load or whatever. We're doing... Let's do Varric's quest next. Because honestly, the companion quests in this game are easily the most interesting part. And I think that's due to the fact that Mass Effect and Dragon Age being sister series, we're taking notes from each other constantly. And while these aren't loyalty quests in the same way that they were in Dragon Age or Mass Effect 2, They are flavored similarly, since, again, for better or for worse, Dragon Age and Mass Effect did kind of copy each other's homework while they were being developed. So Mass Effect did this, so Dragon Age Origins did this, so Dragon Age Origins did this, so Mass Effect 2 did that, Mass Effect 2 did that, so Dragon Age 2 did that, so on and so forth. For better or for worse. I know a lot of people said... So, to be fair, Skyrim was a big hit, and I think that's part of the reason why Dragon Age Inquisition was a hair more open world. I say a hair more because it wasn't a complete open world game. And because Inquisition did that, being a hair open world, Mass Effect Andromeda brought back driving around planets in a motor vehicle. And yeah, I know that the Mako was not was one of the jankier elements of the first Mass Effect game, but I personally thought it was implemented better in Andromeda.
Hey, is that music? Where's that coming from?
I don't hear anything.
Oh, okay, having played Veilguard, realizing that Varric is the only person who can hear that music actually makes sense now. Shit, how do I...
I don't think I can do that.
Make out the words.
I don't... How do I don't want to spoil it, but I just... That just hit me like a ton of bricks.
Look at this. My brother's junk was left here. You wouldn't know it, but Bartrand was a sentimentalist. This came from our estate in Orzammar. When I was 7, I knocked over one of Mother's plates and broke it. My brother yelled at me for an hour.
This was made by the artisans of House Saldras. The clay was from the Adro-Setuna River, which never sees the sun. Arr!
Okay, are Varric and Bartrand voiced by the same voice actor? Because that was a spot-on impression of Bartrand.
There's no way you're talking about the same Bartrand that I met.
Maker's truth. There were tears in his eyes. I never thought that was possible before. That stupid plate was the whole city of Orzammar to him.
But yeah, without spoiling too much, okay, I'll tell you when the quest is over, because I don't want to outright spoil this quest while we're doing it. A good idea. The door is locked. Take the big short guy and hold him up. Use his head or his leg to kick through the door. Then that's one way of dealing with locked doors.
This isn't being caused by some random artifact.
I can't do that.
The idol is still in the house, Hawk. It has to be.
Okay, so if you didn't hear, Varric just said that the idol that we found in the Deep Roads, the one that Bartram tried to kill us over, is still in the house. So, without spoiling too much of Dragon Age Veilguard, so the idol was made out of pure lyrium, just as a reminder. Well, okay, it was made out of pure lyrium, but it was an oddly colored... because lyrium is usually blue, but this one was like red covered in gold.
Are you real? You've got to get out of here before it comes back.
The fuck,
Where's
Christ.
the idol?
A lot of magic going
What
on
idol?
here. Yeah.
Don't waste my time with your lies. Tell me where it is.
I didn't exactly want to stay for dinner, but I think we've got a few minutes to hear her out.
She's hiding something, Hawk. Don't lie to me. I know it's here. You must have found it.
I swear, I don't know anything about an idol. Please,
Again.
Maker, no! It's starting again!
Again, without spoiling anything, we find out in Veilguard that, I forget, does she die?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, she dies. Again, without spoiling too much in Veilguard, you find out that dwarves can... Oh, wait. No, maybe she's not dead. Actually can hear singing from lyrium under certain circumstances. And I won't explain why. That spoils too much, but yeah. There is a... Let me just say, you find out exactly what lyrium is in the 4th game. And why it has the effect that it does on people, and especially on magic. Isabella, biggest jump scare by a loud notification. Started pumping. I am so sorry. That kind of reminds me of an instance of my brother, my older brother. So not, I mean, Sunshine's my sibling, not my brother, but that's beside the point. Was watching a horror movie with a group of his friends in high school, and right as the moment where, like, the killer was about to kick down the door, someone rang the doorbell. Gave them all the biggest scare in their lives. So this, by the way, this quest does result in something that I think got changed due to the backlash of Dragon Age, or not Dragon Age, Mass Effect 3, and I'll get to that in a second. Again, once we beat the quest, I'll kind of tell you what I'm talking about, because, how do I put this? Mass Effect 3 had, like, genuine consequences based on a number of your decisions throughout the court. Shadow could be easy mode. Yeah, probably. How do I put this? In Mass Effect 3, there were a number of quests that you could only get the best possible outcome if you had played the first 2 games in a certain way. Meaning that if you made specific decisions in the first 2 games, you potentially...
This is a piece of the idol. No, I should have known Bartrand would lie to me. Of course he'd keep a piece of the statue for himself. Think of what we could do with this.
I don't know about you, Varric, but I don't want to end up like Bartrand.
I'm not my brother, Hawk. The idol drove him crazy, but this is just one tiny piece. I need this thing. 6 years of my life have gone into this. My only hope of finding out what happened to my brother is with this shard.
So, this is kind of what I mean. I'm going to let him keep it.
I can't believe I'm saying this. If it means that much to you, keep the Shard of Craziness.
I knew you'd understand, Hawk. Let's get out of here. I've seen enough of this damnable house to last 3 lifetimes.
I'm fairly... Because, so, in Mass Effect 2, for example... You are given the option of destroying Malin's research or keeping it. The thing is, if you destroy Malin's research, Eve will always die in the 3rd game. And honestly, I think that sort of permanence, based on a decision not made in the game people were playing, pissed a lot of people off. So I think because of that, I am fairly certain this decision to destroy the shard or keep the shard was going to potentially lead to a decision in Dragon Age Inquisition that would lock out certain things if you chose to keep it or get rid of it. But I'm willing to bet anything they got rid of that idea due to the backlash that Mass Effect 3 faced as a whole, you know? Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I didn't play Mass Effect 3 until after... they'd patched in the improved ending, so I don't have much room to talk about.
Have you located any Canary?
This...
If you find more...
Yeah. So I don't have any room to talk because I tell people, of the original trilogy, I actually like Mass Effect 3 the best because I like that it's a satisfying finale to the whole franchise. But that is, once again, I played it, and I didn't have to deal with the meh ending that most other people did. Now, I can acknowledge that Mass Effect 2 is the better game. I just prefer 3. I mean, hell, Andromeda is my favorite Mass Effect game. You know, hang me for heresy. but extensively, yeah, because Mass Effect 3 had so much pushback upon its initial release, because, like, the game didn't play different enough based on all the choices you could make, like BioWare was promising the franchise would be. And I get that. Like, I do think it is a valid criticism, even though I understand why they couldn't do it exactly like they'd hoped. But, yeah, I really do think that, you know, keeping or destroying the shard, letting Bartram live or letting Bartram die, etc., was supposed to have a bigger impact in Inquisition, but they changed it due to the fact that people didn't like it. Oh, also, I hated my roommate when I was playing this game because he'd spoil so much by being like, oh yeah, this loading screen is like a huge spoiler for the end of the game. I'm like, I wasn't even paying attention to the loading screen. I was just enjoying the game, but once he pointed it out, I couldn't help but realize, oh, that's Meredith. So the fact that she, you know, is getting tainted in darkness, that must mean something, and yes, it does.
Thank you for coming, champion. Few will associate with me now that I am the focus of Meredith's ire.
Yeah,
Which
well,
leaves me in
I'm
a
just gonna
difficult
say
position.
it's because you're kind of a dick.
She is not entirely wrong. I know some of my people are using dangerous means to oppose her. But I cannot seek the Templars' aid without making every mage a target.
Which is also fair.
What are they doing?
All I know is numerous mages have left the Circle at night, sometimes for days at a time.
That sounds like a failing on the Templars'
I'd rather not
parts.
follow our Knight Commander by leaping to the worst possible conclusion. But the idea of blood magic has crossed my mind.
Fucker, you are a blood mage.
She does like to add one and
Or at
one
least
and
you
get
study
11,
blood
doesn't
magic,
she?
asswipe.
Sometimes 111. I've heard rumors, whispers of a meeting tonight in Hightown. I would go
I
myself,
spoil for my
but
friends
should
of
I
this
leave
stuff
the
they
tower
don't care
without
about.
permission, Meredith
Yeah,
would call it
no,
proof
and that's
of
why
my
I do try to
involvement.
ask if people care about spoilers.
So I shouldn't slit my wrists and dance naked under the moonlight just to fit in?
If that's what you intend, perhaps I'll join you after all. Just learn the
Okay,
nature of this meeting.
I'm
You
bad-mouthing
needn't interrupt unless you
Orsino,
find
but
proof of something
he
sinister.
does have some good lines.
I pray not. Or Meredith will have what she needs to justify the right of annulment.
So, again, the reason I'm still kind of cussing out Orsino, because this isn't explained well enough, is Orsino was actually secretly helping the guy who killed our mom study blood magic. Like, we only get 2 indications he was doing that. One was a letter in the bad guy's hideout that was just signed O. And the letter basically read, hey, I found more books you need to continue your research. I'll leave them in the usual place or whatever. Then during the second to last boss fight in the game, he'll offhandedly mention that he was working with the guy. And that's it. And again, that was because, as I've mentioned a few times, this game was not technically finished. EA demanded that they release it, I think, in time for Christmas 2011. I could be wrong that it came out around Christmas, but they wanted to be able to sell it at a very specific time. So even though a good chunk of the quests in the third act weren't finished, specifically quests that would have shown more shade on Orsino, got left on the cutting room floor. And unfortunately, as a result, the final game, the Templars really, really look like the bad guys. Which, I mean, technically they are, but it's hard. Like I've mentioned in a few past streams, it's never okay to lock... Like, in the real world, it's never okay to lock people up simply because of how they were born. That's why, like, these stories and stories like the X-Men resonate with a lot of, you know, marginalized groups. The problem with, like, this situation as well as, like, the X-Men situation is...
Someone's coming.
Just
the
being
champion. We know you're spying for Orsino.
Just
Run! We'll handle this.
how do I put this? Just being in a marginalized group in the real world isn't going to bring about the end of society, despite what certain right-wing conspiracy theorists would say. Whereas we've seen that magic, and even magic in this world, and like certain mutants in the X-Men, could effectively tear down entire civilizations, you know? So, like, it's not a perfect comparison. But I can also see why people who are part of marginalized groups are like, I could never side with the Templars. But I still feel, to an extent, the game does do a good job of saying, yeah, magic in this world is so powerful that it really would be dangerous to just give them 100% complete fair reign, you know? But at the same time, that's a super loaded question, because regardless of what their powers are, you're still kind of being forced to take the stance that it's okay to oppress people simply because... I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know the proper, you know, how to actually feel on this subject. Because, again, characters like Fenris, I feel, are justified with his hatred of magic, because literally his entire existence was ruined by magic. But by the same token, he is... Oh, right. He does go too far in a lot of ways, in my humble opinion. As much as I like Fenris. And the game, especially with what happens to your mom, and what happens to that one psycho elf mage who murdered his wife just to steal her blood, just to make himself more powerful, it does have plenty of examples of showing mages do need a certain amount of oversight. But,
yes, my friend.
Like, in so many things in this world, it's like, that's such a slippery slope, and it's hard to draw a line, you know? I think as a whole, no one should be marginalized. No one should be punished because, I mean, to quote my favorite game of all time, the moment everyone is born, they have a right to live. But I also can't deny, with how powerful mages are,
You're doing that nervous, twitchy thing again, Hawk. Don't worry.
Say I don't sort of get it.
Careful with the shard. You of all people know I'm trustworthy.
I don't know.
Me nervous? Nah. Cursed, insanity-causing shards of evil make me feel...
You still with me, Muffin? Because if so, I apologize about
What are you
that
having? Edwina, let's get a couple
floundering.
of drinks here. Hawk? This is awkward.
Yep.
You? At a loss for words? I should mark this day on my calendar.
Enjoy this while it lasts. It might never happen again.
Yeah, you're good,
Look,
Muffin.
I just wanna
if you were
say,
still here, I just wanted to apologize
It has
for
been an
that.
honor knowing you.
Are you about to die? Am I? Why so serious all of a sudden?
Don't panic. I just needed to get that off my chest.
This
you know,
is...
it's 6 years today. 6 years since I found you dragging your tail out of Bartran's office. Here's to whatever comes next.
This scene in particular, like, this is something that Endangered and I kind of talked about in a past stream, and Abby and I have talked about on more than one occasion. Hawk was very much meant to be the main character of the franchise going forward. The Discord message from a friend request from a person who was in a server I'm in, but I checked and they said nothing in that server. Actually suspicious. Yeah, I almost got my Instagram account hacked because someone was posing as a friend, but that's neither here nor there. But the biggest problem with both the Inquisitor and Rook is... How do I put this? Neither one of them gets built up properly as a character when it comes to people's relationships to them. Particularly, I mean, the Inquisitor is... Rook has a better personality than the Inquisitor, but the problem is that Rook and the Inquisitor and Varric talk like they are the oldest of pals, you know? But because we never see Rook until the 4th game, it's a little hard to buy into. As a result, it's like, okay, if Rook was Hawk, like what the intention was, that awesome friendship between the two of them would be completely believable. But it's not. People complain about, hey, I like Dragon Age because I like the origins. And hey, I don't like that I'm being forced to be a human that's bursting with personality and just so damn funny if you play them right. And you can have complete control over the way their character acts, so there's still a fuck ton of customization. I want to be able to have a custom protagonist again that day. Screw Hawk over and give us the Inquisitor and Rook instead. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Rook, I like the Inquisitor, I like the opportunities that come from being able to have a new protagonist in every single game, but it does leave things lacking in other areas, unfortunately. Okay, hold on. I'm going to grab something to drink real quick while the game loads. Drat, I was hoping to beat the game loading, but I digress. Okie day.
I told you she was hunting us.
No, not her. I can't do this.
So, for those who probably don't remember, I don't remember his name, but that Templar that's like, I can't do this. He was a Templar from Act 1, I think, who was kidnapped by like a cult of mages who was trying to force demons to possess Templars so they could tear the order down from the inside. And that's another, okay, again, that's another thing, is that that's meant to kind of emphasize how scary magic is in this world, because they can force, you know, people to be possessed by demons and take... Because normally, only mages should be able to get possessed by demons, but they found a way around it. But the problem is, once again, it's not a circle mage doing it. There needed to be more villains in, or more obvious villains in the circle itself. That is the big problem with this game and its story, is that a big part of it has to do with the Circle versus the Templars, but most, not all, but most of the mages that are bad aren't Circle mages. Sorry, I know I say that like every single stream, and I apologize for just repeating the same information infinitum, but
now you fall. Not doing anything.
because like, yes, there were Circle mages involved with this, but the fact that there were Templars involved too.
I swear. If I knew you were the one they were talking about, I'd have warned you.
It also
I don't
emphasizes that even the Templars
what I went through.
are not good here.
Didn't I save your life?
You did. Believe me. I still dream about those blood mages. I don't know where I'd be without you. I'd never have let them kidnap anyone I knew was one of yours.
I don't like where this is heading.
They said someone was spying. We needed leverage. Someone they cared about. As a hostage. We just got word they took some lad from the Grey Wardens.
Fuckers.
Just tell me where they went. I can't waste any time.
They left for the ruins on the Wounded Coast. We have a kind of base there. They should have just talked to you. I know you're a reasonable person. You have to see how dangerous Meredith is.
Yep.
Thrask says Meredith will cause open war with the mages if she stays in charge. We have to take her down.
Hey, thanks for being here, Muffin. Well, take care. See you later. Yeah, don't worry. I'll get the blood off them. But yeah, but that's...
Is this whole thing to oust the Knight Commander?
Trust me,
She needs to go, don't you see?
She really
we
does.
Need a real Viscount, and
again,
that's
they go too far to really illustrate how awful
mages
Meredith
and
is, you know.
Working together. Isn't that what we all want?
So yeah.
Is Thrask the one running this conspiracy?
He's the one who brought us together. For 6 years, he's been working, one mage, one Templar at a time, teaching us we don't have to hate each other.
That's why I like Thrask.
He showed us Meredith isn't the only way.
I thought you'd be the last person to join a conspiracy of apostate mages.
They aren't apostates. They want the Circle. They want it to work like it's supposed to protect them. The mages aren't the problem. Meredith is.
Yes,
the Knight
that
Commander
is
needs
true.
to go. That's what Thrask says. Without her, we have a chance at peace. What are you going to do to Thrask? To me?
This isn't going to end well. If I were you, I'd stay out of range.
Thank you. I'm really sorry you were the one. I'll go to Marsha, try to wait this out. I don't think I can serve the Templars while Meredith is still in charge.
Yeah, except because you're a Templar, they would have gotten you addicted to lyrium, so you're not going to have much of a choice anymore, buddy. Because, yeah, that's a big way that the Templars keep their people in line, is they get them addicted to lyrium. And from what I've heard, from like doing some extra research, the developers have concluded beating lyrium addiction is borderline impossible. I don't say that as in it's hard, I say that as in most people who try to quit
Try my hand at that?
would just die from withdrawal well before they ever get to the point where they can exist without it. And that's just the nature of the fact that lyrium... Well, lyrium is magical, for one. Okay, I can't really talk more about lyrium, because that delves super headfirst into spoilers for the next two games. And while I don't care a ton about spoiling Inquisition, again, that game is well over 10 years old at this point. I don't want to spoil Veilguard, and since some aspects of Inquisition tie directly into some aspects of Veilguard, I need to be careful about what I talk about, you know? Spinning the stick, spinning the stick. You know, I don't know why I'm... Sorry, my brain's like, yeah, I gotta keep going. I don't know how close to the end I am, but I want to see if I can maybe beat it this weekend. But at the same time, like, why am I in such a hurry to beat this game? Because if I beat this game, the next game on my list is my least favorite game of all time. Wow, not even gonna start with a how do you do. Oh, hey,
Here
Samson.
you are. You've been sticking your nose in every problem in Kirkwall since you stumbled off the boat.
Yep.
Are the mages here using blood magic?
It always comes down to that, don't it?
Yeah, it kind of
They
does.
claim innocence, demand equality, but back them into a corner, and they got options we don't.
Yeah.
Haven't found a mage yet who won't take it.
You were the upstanding citizen begging coins to get your next flask of lyrium.
It's a long time since anyone could get under my skin with that. I know what I am.
By the way,
So it shouldn't
Samson here
surprise you to see me
potentially
here, right?
has a big role in the third
One more
game.
blockhead
I
move
say
that's gonna
potentially
keep
because
me in
depending
the
on what
gutter.
choice you make, he doesn't show
I
up at
just
all.
wanted to see Meredith out in her ass, like she did to me.
Meredith does seem to have a serious case of the crazies, yes.
But is she wrong? I'd hoped with Meredith gone I could take up the shield again. But maybe she was right. Give them a hint of freedom, mages go bad.
Your friends are right. Without Meredith, Kirkwall can be at peace again.
Yeah.
It is never that simple.
It isn't,
I'd
but
cheer
Meredith
see
needs to
her
be
shipped
out.
to Val Royeaux. But I don't have the stomach to turn against all that's right and natural to do it.
Like, look. I think, in many respects, the Circle is a good thing. Not necessarily a place to... Again, just to compare it to the X-Men, there should be a school, like, you know, Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters, to teach mages how to avoid things like blood magic and whatnot. The problem is when people like Meredith use it as a prison to oppress people and treat them like garbage. Like, Meredith needs to be ousted because she's only making things worse by seeing blood magic everywhere, you know?
I suppose it was too much to hope that you wouldn't have come here.
Hey, Thrask.
Though I can't understand why you side with Meredith now. You showed me we can stand up to her.
I'm not siding
when
with
you
her.
took Fainreal to the Dalish and insisted there was another way. Please, champion. I have nothing but respect for you. It's Meredith we must see gone.
Your cause is just, but I take issue with your methods.
Yeah.
I should have known you recognized the threat Meredith poses. I am sorry for any distress we caused you or your friends. Let the hostage go.
No. The boy dies. Then the champion.
Stand down, Grace.
Grace. I knew we should have let the Templars slay her.
Yeah, I have to agree with
We
you on
will
that one,
not kill an
Fenris.
innocent to achieve our ends. It gains us nothing to become Meredith.
I agree.
Meredith. What do I care for Meredith? I'm here for the champion.
I've been wondering when you'd come back to bite me in the ass.
I would rather die 100 times than endure one more hour in the Circle. I have been counting the days to get my revenge. Elaine, kill the hostage!
I don't know, Grace.
I guess a life of quiet contemplation didn't suit you.
This isn't right, Grace. Meredith's the one you should hate.
Don't defy me, boy. Without me, you'd be nothing. If you're too squeamish, I'll do it myself.
No. No one has to die here.
Oh, but that's where you're wrong.
Restrain yourself.
Yeah, basically it looks like she impaled herself all the way through.
Forget the hostage. Kill the champion.
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, even if you let Grace go, she still comes back. I think it's either they still manage to track her down, or now she is seeking revenge for the death of her husband or something. I know, it's another example of fake free will, if that makes sense, which I know does bug some players, where it's like, yeah, you're given a choice, but the outcome doesn't change based on your choice, you know? Like, I know, like, as far as I know, the only major difference, again, outside some dialogue, is because I let Thrask take Elaine and Grace back to the circle, we were able to periodically, we could see them in the gallows throughout the course of the game.
I tried to stay away from her, you know, after Decimus.
That's at Decimus.
But the circle here is worse than Starkhaven ever was. It seemed like hers was the only way out. I'm sorry. Grace used blood magic to hold him. There's no other way to wake him up.
Get out of my... What? Where am I?
I promise. I'll never let anything like this happen again.
Thank you, sister. It seems I am again in your debt. And Shadow.
They're meeting in here, Sir Callan. Oh, I guess you didn't get on so well with these mages as you thought.
Champion, Samson never said you were involved in this. I trust you were here to stop these traitors, not join them.
The Champion's a fine lady, sir. She wanted to solve this peacefully.
Yeah. Put the mage to questioning.
The boy stood up to his elders when they would have killed an innocent hostage.
You mean he was one of them, save for a convenient last-minute change of heart?
Shut up.
I'll encourage Meredith to take it easy on him.
Thank you, Champion.
Everyone else here is under arrest. Take them to the gallows. Is there any recommendation you would have me bring to Meredith, Champion?
She should consider reinstating Samson. When it came down to it, he showed where his heart is.
True. Samson, you have done us a great service. Do you wish to take up the shield once more?
More than anything, Knight Captain, sir.
Then I'll see what I can do.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Right. Then again, I suppose maybe it's kind of a sign that this game does have a good story. If I'm constantly like, I don't know what's right, you know? Because, morally speaking, what the... Again, the other problem is that the game also really goes out of its way to paint Meredith as the bad guy, and succeeds. Like... I don't have a good answer to that. Fenris is mentioned.
Take a look at this.
A Blade of Mercy. I remember these. You see them in the Imperium. Replicas of the sword Archon Hessarian used to kill Andraste. This one looks finely crafted.
So they sell these things at every market stand in Minrathous?
Hardly. Here, let me show you.
That's cool.
These are gifts of honor, given to those who have performed a service for the Imperium. Daenerys coveted them, as I recall.
You don't talk about the Imperium much.
It's not a place I remember fondly.
The blade is yours if you want it.
For me? Yes. I think I'd like that. I'll think of the irony as I wield it. Thank you, Hawk.
Yeah, technically the Blade of Mercy is worse, but it's... I don't know, it's Fenris's specific... Oh, Hood of the Champion. It's Fenris's specific sword, so I'm going to have him use that. Yeah, okay. I don't care if that's technically better. I am sticking with the Robes of the Champion because they look way better. And as we've established many times in this playthrough, or in just the channel's history, I'm a shallow bitch who actually cares about aesthetics. Excuse me. Alright, time to go back to Orsi Borsi. Oh, hey Samson.
Look at this. My own sun shield and all the lyrium I can quaff. You've done me a good one.
I do wish we got to see him in armor, though.
Thrask's dead. Grace is dead. And nothing's changed. They're not going to be the last ones who rebel.
The Knight Commander has sent to Val Royeaux for the rites of annulment.
What? That's a bit of a...
The Knight Commander has dealt with the members of the plot you uncovered. But surely you're the only mage in Kirkwall who can approach the Knight Commander What would you have of me?
I just wanted to...
After what happened in Ferelden, but it grows... It may...
Yeah, it does kind of suck that Thrask dies. Because he was genuinely... You know, he was genuinely doing his best, you know? Yeah, killed by the mage he actually went on a limb... out on a limb for. I'm actually surprised... Well, maybe Kieran left the Order or something.
Your Mage Templar group was conspiring to overthrow Meredith.
I have a sudden deep regret I interfered. You know, I was half convinced Meredith had engineered the whole thing to trick me into incriminating myself.
Thrask admitted to leading the group.
Perhaps I've exaggerated the depths of her madness. But if she's not there yet, she will be soon.
Yeah, I don't know.
The only question is, once it's clear she cannot lead, will there be anyone left to oppose her? Please accept this as my thanks. It will be of more value to you right now than my friendship.
Okay. Maybe there'll also be a letter from Mare. Wait, yeah, and I still need to... There still should be the Gamlen quest. I hope I didn't miss it, because I like... Again, Gamlen's a character that I think gets a little too much hate. I would very much like to... Yeah. Excuse me. Excuse me again. It's very rare to have no quest markers on the map.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. I thought you went to the Hanged Man.
Oh.
And I almost went there to look for you first, but then I thought you might have gone to see your uncle instead. And I'm rambling, aren't I?
I don't mind. You're adorable when you're flustered.
After you left, I couldn't stop thinking about Paul and the mirror and everything that's happened. I wonder if I've made a mistake.
Wait, was this supposed to play in the
Even the
second
Danish.
act?
Who could pass up life in Kirkwall? The city of sunshine and butterflies.
Did the...
I suppose if I hadn't left my people,
Did the game
I never would have
glitch?
met you.
Because I think this is supposed to be like an...
I'm not like you. And I wish that I were.
I'm fairly certain this is...
You're beautiful and clever, and you never make any mistakes. And
Wait, what?
I don't deserve you.
Perhaps you don't. But I deserve you. Did you think of that?
Did you call the Maker a dirty name, then? It's foolish of me to even dream that you might.
What? Because I'm fairly certain this was supposed to play in Act 2.
You're like a sister to me, Meryl.
That's very kind of you to say. Anyway, I should go. Thank you for talking with me, Hawk.
Huh. That was,
You've had luck on your travels?
Yeah, that cutscene played in the wrong act. So... Hey guys, I will be right back. I need to take care of something real quick. Thank you for your patience. Let's get back to it. Huh. Okay, that's the last quest. But I never got Gamlen's quest. Okay, we're gonna go by Gamlen's house. Because I want to do Gamlen's quest. If it doesn't play, I'll tell you. Damn. Hold on, let me Google. Not 2, not 3. Right, we're not at Gammon.
Elgonon, 6 years in this place.
Okay, so it looks like that, unfortunately, because... What? I don't think I ever got this quest. Oh, you've got to be fucking shitting me. Okay, we'll go visit Gamlin and see what happens, but... yeah, I think the game glitched. Because that scene with Meryl didn't play until Act 3. For whatever reason, I don't think I can actually get the proper cutscene that's supposed to play as a follow-up to Meryl's personal quest. That bugs me. And it's possible that because it's supposed to be here, wait, hold on.
Leave that alone.
Oh, there we go.
That note mentioned the gem of Karoshek. What's that?
It's nothing. Never mind.
This gem sounds pretty impressive. It has a name and everything.
Ah, don't be stupid. I lost everything chasing that gem. Our fortune, our home, even Mara.
Who's Mara?
She's... none of your concern. That's who she is. Why don't you head back to your fancy house in Hightown and stay out of my damn business?
So yeah, we're... Okay, at least we can do this quest. But yeah, looks like we're not going to be able to see Meryl's quest come to its conclusion just because of that damned glitch. Oh well. Worst things have happened. Well, no, I would say that's one of the worst things to have glitch out on in Dragon Age 2, since the companions are the big appeal of this game. And I also just realized once I beat... It's fine. It's fine.
Are you the ones who sent the note about the gem of Karoshek?
We were beginning to think you wouldn't show. It's rude to keep people waiting, you know? It's not like I don't got things to do.
To inconvenience an upstanding citizen such as yourself. My, where are my manners?
Don't talk down to me. I ain't stupid. See, we was hired to give you a note. But this gem of Karoshek thing the note talks about, we decided we want that instead. You better hand it over.
I'm surprised you know what a note is, let alone know how to read one.
I don't need to know how to read. All I need to know is which end of the sword goes where.
Yeah, the pointy end of the sword goes up your dick hole.
Gem.
Yeah, you're picking a fight with a maid with a really, really angry elf boyfriend that has a big sword.
See the mallet hanging on the wall at Gamlen's house?
Okay, sorry, that... Wait. I know it's probably just a generic kid model, but for a second I thought that was Cricket from... what's it called? From one of the mage's quests. One of the 3 mages who broke out of the circle and that Meredith had us track down. That's what I mean by mage's quests. Sorry, I don't think I've... Okay, no, I haven't actually picked up that much more, but just wanted to check, because I don't like having too much crap in my pockets.
What do you want now?
What in the maker's name is a wallop mallet?
Haven't played Wallop since I was a kid. Still got my mallet up on the wall, though. Last time I was any good at something.
I'm sorry, what? Okay.
Well, we found the tree the Wallop mallet's made from. Now what?
Wallop mallet? You must be the one I'm supposed to give this note to.
This person is like an underpaid brothel wench. He enjoys leading us on.
I was given a few coins to hand this over to whoever came asking about Wallop mallets. Unfortunately, the person was hooded, and it was dark. I didn't get a good look. Obviously a human, though. No mistaking that. Even hooded, you all look alike.
That's racist.
A warehouse? I don't like being led around. Unless leashes are involved. And they're not.
Shut up, Isabella.
Hell gone on 6 years in this place, and I still
Okay, we walk into a trap, buzzsaws spring out of the floor, and we all die painful deaths. Yeah, I don't remember which shipment we're actually supposed to be looking for.
Well, here are the crates we were looking for.
Something seems off. It's a trap!
It's a trap. We've had so many smackdowns in this warehouse. We should probably, buy stock here or something,
I'm surprised they sent so many men just to capture someone like Gamlin.
It's time.
To end this charade.
I know I kind of have been saying I should do like play a Dragon Age game, then play a Tales game, then play a Sonic game, and also thinking maybe work Pikmin into it as well. But part of me is also like, I really should actually get around to playing The Force Unleashed for this channel. Because for those who don't know, The Force Unleashed is my favorite Star Wars game. And 10 years ago, right before The Force Awakens was released, Abby and I decided we should play The Force Unleashed for the channel. But due to just a very specific I don't even remember what this is. It's got to be Kickstarter. But due to, how do I put this? There was a specific point in a level that just kept causing Abby to die over and over, so that she actually ended up rage quitting the game before we were even like 2 episodes into the recording. So we never ever actually posted The Force Unleashed to the channel, because this was back when our philosophy was, we want to make the person who's not familiar with the game play it for the first time. Which, don't get me wrong, has its benefits, but if a game has frustrating mechanics and you're not as personally invested in the game, it does mean that it's a lot easier to... I also just realized I never saw Nathaniel. Hold on. Boo. It's lame. Okay. Even though I specifically imported, you know, Edgelord's playthrough with Nathaniel because I wanted to run into Nathaniel. You know, that's frustrating. The entire reason I tortured myself with Awakening was because I wanted Nathaniel to show up in this game. But you will get one of two quests in this game. The Fool's Gold quest, where we go into the deep roads to save that dwarf's 3 sons. Or you get the quest where Nathaniel shows up. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, we got the quest where we go save the dwarf's 3 sons instead, meaning that Nathaniel didn't show up. And I don't know why we got that, because it says Nathaniel will only show up if you import one of these specific world states from the pre-made ones, which we didn't do. We imported, or it said you had to import a save file with Dragon Age Awakening, which is what I did. But for whatever reason, you didn't get Nathaniel, and that bugs me. Because again, it meant that I technically suffered through Awakening for there was no need for me to suffer through Awakening. Because I'm sorry, I do not like Awakening. It's such a glitchy, unfinished mess. I mean, then again, I don't know what I'm complaining about, because this Dragon Age 2 has been glitching out on me. So I don't know, maybe that's just kind of proof that BioWare games are not the shit. Although, speaking of, you know, games famous for glitching, Skyrim, and with the remaster of Oblivion, I've been debating if I should get it, and if I should maybe do that for Edgelord, because, gotta be honest, I played Oblivion a little before Skyrim was released, and I fucking hated it. From what I've heard, the remaster makes things a little easier, but it's still not
couldn't
good.
even bother to come himself.
So I don't know if I
should
could even
expect he'd
stomach
send
it,
you,
you know.
cousin.
I didn't know you had such a pretty little cousin, Hawk.
Isabella,
I have
keep
a
it in your
cousin.
pants.
Gamlin never told you. Of course he didn't. Why would he?
Sorry to interrupt this touching family reunion, but we have unfinished business here.
Veld! What are you doing here?
Meckel is dead. That bitch killed him.
What's a Meckel?
My brother. Meckel was my brother, and you killed him.
That doesn't make sense. Meckel was just supposed to hand over the note.
You really think we didn't read it? We know about the gem charade. Hand it over. I won't let Meckel's death be for nothing.
You let your brother go up against someone like Hawk for a stupid gem. You know what? I did find the gem, but you're not getting your pathetic little hands on it, Veld.
Fine. We'll do this the hard way.
I literally do not know any other way besides the hard way. You know, I don't believe for a second you're like an adventurous rogue who was able to track down this gem because you're not wearing pants. I seriously doubt that skirt translate well into dungeon delving.
Now you fall.
Hey, guess what? I've got one too. I keep forgetting that I have a Mabari, but I have one. This is a lot of losers.
You're pretty useful in a fight. You don't take after Gamlin at all.
And I wouldn't have taken you for his daughter. What with being able to fight.
I guess I should take that as a compliment. My mother, Mara, she left Gamlin before I was born. He was so fixated on finding that stupid gem, I doubt he even noticed she was gone. She told me about Gamlin before she died last year. I didn't even know about him.
You told Veld you had the gem. Were you lying?
Not at all. I found the gem. I managed to pull off what Gamlin couldn't.
Next time you want to talk to someone, maybe try knocking on their door first.
Oh yes, that sounds brilliant. Just show up on his doorstep and say, "Hi, I'm your daughter." I doubt that would go over well.
Fair.
I just wanted to see, I don't know, how far he'd go for something he really wanted. And then he doesn't even show up. I baited him with the one thing I thought would get his attention.
He's got some good qualities. You might be surprised.
Really? What do you think I should do?
I think you should go talk to Gamlin. Does he even know about you?
I'm not sure.
Having family might be more worthwhile than you think.
Coming from the guy who nearly killed his
sister.
sister.
Before you write him off.
But
I think I will. Having a cousin turned out to be a good thing. Maybe having a father will too.
okay, to be fair, I would argue that we're Fenris's family now, and that's more what he's referring to. Or he could be kind of in denial, longing for something that... Well, longing for family in a specific sense. I digress. I make fun of Fenris, but it is... Okay, again, I don't know why I'm saying this, because I don't have a lot of nice things to say about my biological family, but by the same token, there's 5 friends that I know who are closer than most actual families are. Like, the relationship they all share is... Wait, what? What? I didn't want to pin that. I don't know why I pinned that. Touchscreens are finicky. Like, honestly, I've always been a little jealous about the friendship they all share, but by the same token, it's like seeing that, you know, people can, you know, have such a close bond despite not being, like, related, it kind of makes me happy. So it makes me realize, I'm like, yeah, there is still good in the world, you know? That's why it is sad that 3 of them have actually moved across the country, so 2 of them still live near me, and 3 of them now live, I won't say where, but just the other side of the country now, so it is kind of sad.
You've got to realize this is kind of new to me. I didn't know Mara had a baby. If I did, I would have, I don't know, gone after her or something.
She used to say I was so much like you, and I didn't even know who you were. I guess I wanted to see for myself. I need some time to think about all this, but if it's all right, I'd like to come back and talk more.
I think I'd like that. Keep, safe.
Looks like you two had a good talk.
It was bloody awkward, that's what.
I was worried she wouldn't come find you. I think you need each other.
You know, I may not say this very often, but I'm glad you're one of the family. But seriously, next time, stay out of my damn business, girl.
I love you too, Gamlin.
Single-handedly saved the city from the heathens, huh? The Viscount should have paid me a finder's
again, Gamlen is a prick. Like, I'm not going to deny that. But he's nuanced to me. He's well written. You understand why he does what he does, and I do like the fact that you can potentially help him become a better person, you know? Okay. I'm going to swing by Meryl's house one last time just to see if maybe I can trigger Meryl's actual final scene. If not, then I think it's time to beat the game. Oh god, it's time to beat the game, and... I know, I was very adamant about, no, I know the next game I need to play for the channel is this game, because it would be kind of fun to play the game that I hate more than any other game in all of existence, but I also admit I am not fully looking forward to it either. Because, Christ, I hate that game.
Elgonon, 6 years.
Alright. Oh, wait. There's a letter. There's a letter. I need to go read the letter before we do this. I hope it doesn't load into a cutscene. It might load into a cutscene.
Champion, thank the Maker you've come.
What's happened?
First Enchanter Orsino got into a terrible argument with the Knight Commander. He stormed off to bring the matter before the Grand Cleric, but the Knight Commander gave chase. I fear there will be blood.
Wonderful. Take me to them.
Okay, then I guess we're not doing that. Oh, and here's why I fucking hate Anders.
I will have the tower searched, top to bottom.
You cannot do that. You have no right.
I have every right. You are harboring blood mages, and I intend to root them out before they infect this city.
Blood magic. Where do you not see blood magic? My people cannot sneeze without you accusing them of corruption.
Do not trifle with me, mage. My patience is at an end.
A wonder that I never saw it begin.
The way you two carry on, people will talk.
This does not involve you, champion.
I called her here. I think the people deserve to know just what you've done.
What I have done is protect the people of this city time and again. What I have done is protect you mages from your curse and your own stupidity. And I will not stop doing it. I will not lower our guard. I dare not.
Is there any truth to what she's saying?
These are only her latest accusations, nothing more. And what if she does not find what she's looking for? How much further will she go to root out something that isn't there?
The champion knows better than anyone how deep the Circle's corruption goes. I must find the source.
Does the word crazy mean anything to you?
What other option do we have? Tell me, champion, that you have not seen with your own eyes what they can do. Heard the lies of mages that seek power.
They're not the only ones that lie and seek power.
You would cast us all as villains, but it is not so.
I know, and it breaks my heart to do it. But we must be vigilant.
I hate this type of argument.
If you cannot tell me another way, do not brand me a tyrant.
No, you're a tyrant.
This is getting us nowhere. Grand Cleric Athena will put a stop to this.
You will not bring her grace into this.
Fuck you,
The Grand
Anders.
Cleric cannot help you.
Explain yourself, mage.
I will not stand by and watch you treat all mages like criminal, while those who would lead us bow to their Templar jailers.
How dare you speak to me?
The Circle has failed us, Orsino. Even you should be able to see that. The time has come to act. There can be no half measures.
Anders, what have you done?
There can be no turning back.
Fucker. Motherfucker. So yeah, this is what he tricked us into helping him with, by the way. Yeah, he just blew up the fucking chantry and killed everyone inside.
Make her have mercy. There can be no peace.
Asshole.
No! Make her no! She was your most faithful, your most beloved.
Shut up, Sebastian. No one likes you.
Why didn't she listen to me?
Because no one likes you.
Blessed be the souls of the faithful that they ascend to your right hand.
Why? Why would you do such a thing?
I removed the chance of compromise, because there is no compromise.
The Grand Cleric has been slain by magic. The Chantry destroyed.
And this is what I'm talking about.
As Knight Commander of Kirkwall, I hereby invoke the right of annulment. Every mage in the Circle is to be executed, immediately.
The Circle didn't even do this. Champion, you can't let her. Help us stop this madness.
Exactly!
I demand you stand with us. Even you must see that
this is my problem. This dilemma is a good one when it was fucking Anders who had no association with the Circle anymore. Why are we executing... Why are we executing the right of annul? I mean, I get it. It's revealed Meredith is actually literally crazy.
Was that why you needed me to distract the Grand Cleric?
You were part of this?
If you knew what I was doing, you would have felt honor-bound to stop me. I couldn't take that chance. The Circle is an injustice. In many places beyond Kirkwall. The world needs to see.
And how does blowing...
Elfina is not the Circle.
Yeah!
She's a good woman, and you murdered her.
Christ, I hate this idiot.
You've doomed us all.
I hate
We were
Anders so
already
much.
doomed. A quick death now or a slow one later. I'd rather die fighting.
You're a murderer. The Grand Cleric, the mages, their blood is on your hands.
I know.
Yeah, that doesn't make it better.
Doesn't matter. Even if I wished to, I could not stay my hand. The people will demand blood.
Publicly execute Anders, then.
This won't be easy, but I'll defend you.
But what of Anders?
Hawk, if you do this, I don't know if I can follow.
After all the evil that magic has wrought, you would still support them.
I'm not supporting mages. I am supporting not executing people who didn't commit the
I know we
act.
can do this. I believe in you, Hawk.
Shit. What have you gotten yourself into this time, Isabella?
Think carefully, champion. Stand with them and you share their fate.
I can live with that.
Thank the Maker.
It is a mistake, but I won't abandon you.
I see what you are trying to do, and my place is with you.
Yeah, if we weren't friends with either of those two, they would have turned on us.
Kill them all! I will rouse the rest of the Order.
Go! Get to the gallows before it's too late!
Okay, hold on. Before we go on, I want to see something real quick. Yeah, no, it would take me pretty far back, so we're just gonna have to leave that letter unread. Oh well. I hate Anders so much. Yes, I know it was technically justice slash vengeance that did it, not necessarily Anders, but I still fucking hate him.
So it's come to this. I don't know if we can win this war, champion, but thank you. I will leave your friend for you to deal with. I must return to the gallows. Meet me there as soon as you can.
There's nothing you can say that I haven't already said to myself.
I disagree.
I took a spirit into my soul and changed myself forever to achieve this. This is the justice all mages have awaited.
Did that spirit tell you to do this?
No. When we merged, he ceased to be. We are one now. I can no more ignore the injustice of the Circle than he could.
So it's up to you to decide how things should be?
It's obvious how things shouldn't be. You've never been part of the Circle. I have.
I mean, yeah.
The people fear what we can
true,
do.
But
to use that fear to bludgeon us into submission is wrong. And they do it with our blessing.
yes, I don't
If I
disagree
take
that
that with
the
my
way the
life,
circle is run now
then I
is a
pay.
problem.
Perhaps then justice would at least be free.
Opinions?
If I'd been in that chantry today, would you be waffling? You know what must be done.
I wouldn't have given a shit
Bold
if you
plan.
died.
Well, I thought so.
He wants to die. Kill him and be done with it.
Belief is no excuse. Sincerity does not justify
I also just
this.
realized I didn't get the scene where
You should go with
Anders
us. Nobody can to put
gave
things right.
Varric a gift.
I think I'm sick of mages and
Ugh,
Templars.
okay.
Whatever you do, just
This
do it.
game really glitched. You know what?
Help me defend the mages.
You mean, stay with you? I didn't think you'd let me. But if you do,
I still
I'll
hate
fight
you.
the Templars. Damned right I will.
We could still use your healing.
No. You cannot let this abomination walk free. He dies, or I am returning to Starkhaven. And I will bring such an army with me on my return that there'll be nothing left of Kirkwall for these Maleficarum to rule.
Do not interfere, Sebastian.
I will not fight you, Hawk. My death now would serve nothing. I will return to Starkhaven, but I swear to you, I will come back and find your precious Anders. I will teach him what true justice is.
Yeah, here's the thing, Sebastian. I don't give a shit about you as a character, so fuck
Thank
off.
you for my life.
When did you sit
I'll try
back
not to
down?
make such a mess of it this time.
Well, he sat back
How
down because
invigorating.
he had
We'd
to,
all best get
because
to the gallows,
Sebastian was
and
DLC.
quick. It's going to be quite a show.
Yeah, fuck off, Sebastian. I will not miss you.
We must move quickly, or the battle will be fought without us.
Yeah, I just realized there's actually a number of scenes from, like, Sebastian, from Anders that didn't happen. It's a little frustrating, actually. Hey, Carver.
Carver. Your family has convenient timing.
You're not wrong.
I've been looking everywhere for you. I thought you were dead.
Last time we spoke, it didn't seem like that would matter to you.
Look, I know what happened in the Deep Roads. You saved my life, and I didn't even thank you. But you're the only family I have left.
And Gamlin.
I have to stand by you. Just say the word and you'll have my blade.
I thought the Order was supposed to be neutral.
I'm a warden because of you. I blamed you for a long time, but you saved more than my life. I am so much more than I was. This is what I was meant to be. And I won't thank you by doing nothing while you start a war.
Your blade would be welcome.
Brother and sister together again, huh? Just like old times.
And yeah, you get your sibling. Well, I don't know if you like. So if he joined the Templars and we sided with the mages, he wouldn't rejoin us here. Albeit, we wouldn't have to kill him or anything like that. He just wouldn't rejoin. But say if Bethany was the sibling who survived and she joined the circle and you sided against the circle, you would have to kill her. So it's a little unbalanced. But yeah, you get your sibling in the first act, in this final quest, and then like those few DLC instances. I also realized I went out of my way to buy all those runes and I forgot to enchant half my shit. Oh well, we will encounter Sandal before the end, kind of like what happens in Dragon Age 1, so I will be able to throw runes on some stuff. So it's not the end of the world. You know, I really was half tempted to just kill Anders. And don't get me wrong, I hate Anders and he deserves it, but...
Stay where you are! There is no escape!
Leave me alone. I never asked for any of this.
The law is clear, Mage.
I love that she's basically holding a Kunari spear as a staff. I mean, yes, you can get a staff like that. I find it funny.
Whatever you need.
So what's actually kind of interesting is if Carver's a Grey Warden and you're playing a mage, well, okay, if Carver's here, you have to be playing a mage, but if Carver is a Grey Warden and you actually choose to side with the Templars, he shows up like, I've been looking for you everywhere because I figured you would be on the run from the Templars and I find you killing mages? What's that all about? I did not realize there was a titty demon. Well, that's probably the last one we're going to see, because they are not in the next two games for some reason. Buppers, attack! Wow, we managed to take them out, and I think we saved every mage. Oh, we're not done. It's no use.
Let's finish this!
Fist of Fury! Oh no, I've been slowed. Yeah, I think I saved every one of the circle mages. Not bad. Alright, let's go Leroy Jenkins, everybody. Oh, of course. There happens to be a blood mage to justify this. Help. Help. Help.
Now you fall!
Not enough.
This is going badly! I'll deal with it! Go down!
Yeah, I know he's not like losing health, but he's taking some damage. Fenris, I need you to stand by me if you're gonna hit the heals. That's how my healing aura works.
Easy as
Well, don't really need the longbow since Sebastian was the only one who used one, and he's gone now. And I somehow do not care. To the gallows! What? You mean things that restore health can be used to restore health? You don't say. Yeah, I'm glad. I really wish we kind of got an in-engine or at least a cutscene of the gallows before this point. Because if you remember, Varric talks about the gallows, you know, sailing into Kirkwall, you would have seen the same thing that they did, the gallows or whatever, and just like really talks it up. But that's the first time we truly get to see it in-engine, you know, because you don't really get to see it super well in-game.
First Enchanter!
Champion, you've survived, thank the Maker. We must...
And here you are!
Let us speak, Meredith, before this battle destroys the city you claim to protect.
I will entertain a surrender, nothing more. Speak if you have something to say.
Revoke the right of annulment, Meredith, before this goes too far. Imprison us if you must. Search the tower. I will even help you. But do not kill us all for an act we did not commit.
The Grand Cleric is dead, killed by a mage. The people will demand retribution, and I will give it to them.
Then execute
Your
Anders.
offer is commendable, Orsino, but it comes too late.
We can still prevent this, before you both tear Kirkwall apart.
You heard her. She's wanted this all along.
I suppose I should have expected no less from you, champion. So be it. You will share the Circle's fate.
So what is it to be, Meredith? Do we fight here?
Go. Prepare your people. The rest of the Order is already crossing the harbor.
This isn't over.
By the way, I hope you guys have noticed that freaky looking sword Meredith has had this act, because she didn't have it when we met her for the first time. She had a more ordinary one, because it's a bit important to say the very least.
I shouldn't have come back here. This is all your fault.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Meredith will get what's coming to her. She's gone too far.
I underestimated you, Hawk. I really thought when it was put to the test, you'd have to kill me. You truly are the leader we've been waiting centuries for.
Oh, stop. You're making me blush.
Dickhead.
Thank you for standing by me. We would not have reached this point without you. May the Maker bring us victory. Maybe if he shows his approval, the world will finally be ready to change.
Oh, it changes all right, for better or for worse.
Brother.
You always seem to find a way to make my life difficult. I should be hunting archdemons, but it feels right to be at your side again.
This is where you should be.
with family.
That won't always be the case. You know that.
I know, but...
I've seen a lot of things. The world out there. It needs help. But I can start here. Who'd have thought, huh? 2 nobodies from Lothering. I wish Mother could have seen us like this. I don't know what she would think about the rest, but...
She always knew it would take something like this to bring us together.
I suppose she did. I'm proud to call you sister. That's gone unsaid too long. In war, victory, champion. And whatever else may come.
That happens. We got that conversation because we were friends, not rivals. Well, I mean, we weren't like
Captain
solidified as friends, but he was more on the friendly side.
Not for much longer if this goes bad. What a mess. You really put loyalty to the test, you know. Donnick has kept the guard protecting civilians. Meredith will have no support from them. With luck, well, let's just say we need some luck.
Starting to doubt me?
Never. Almost never. Let's keep the damage to a minimum, shall we? I've walked away from too many wastelands for one lifetime.
Here I am, about to defend these mages in hopeless battle. You lead me to strange places, Hawk.
I'll take you to stranger places than this. Just watch.
A tempting offer. I may not get the chance to say this again. Meeting you was the most important thing that ever happened to me, Hawk. Promise me you won't die. I can't bear the thought of living without you.
I don't make that promise unless you do.
Nothing is going to keep me from you.
Oh, my sexy, angsty elf boy. Okay, I'll get that once I can control everyone again.
Nervous, Hawk?
My mother didn't raise any stupid children. I know how dangerous this fight will be.
Well, that's comforting. It's the most dangerous thing we could ever do, but at least we know that. You know me, Hawk. I'm not one for long goodbyes. I'm not sure we should be doing this. Helping dangerous people run amok. But I'm with you.
We've faced down worse things than this, Varric. What could possibly go wrong?
Shut up, Bubsy.
Oh, I hate it when you say that. What do you say we put an end to all this waiting around and go meet Destiny?
I hate Destiny. She didn't pay her tab when we went out drinking together.
I feel like I'm forgetting something. Or there's more to do, or... Does all this feel like a dream to you, too?
In a moment, I'll look down, see I have no pants on.
The champion of Kirkwall going to battle naked. Why can't I ever have that dream? Hawk, before we go...
Meryl, whatever happens, I'm proud to have known you. Shouldn't you be halfway to Tevinter by now?
Maker's breath. Take off with a priceless relic once, and you never hear the end of it. Your life would have been easier if you had just cut me out of it. But you stood by me. You defied the Qunari, and fought their Arashok for me, even after I betrayed you.
If you'd gone with them, I wouldn't have been able to yell at you.
Oh, well, I'm glad you wanted to yell at me so badly then. I know I don't exactly inspire confidence, but I swear, I'm going to come through for you this time. When you look for me, I'll be fighting at your side.
You are the best friend.
Are you prepared, champion? I believe the battle is almost upon us.
Let the games begin.
Very well. You will need to give orders to your companions, and I will do the same for my people.
What about me? What should I do?
We could use some healing, or any other spells you can offer.
I'll try to keep you inside then.
Meryl, attack from a distance. Stay out of the fight as much as you can.
I will.
Aveline, charge in whenever you see an opening. Very well. Isabella, I want you to fight from stealth. Keep them confused.
Sounds like fun.
So, this is it. Some of you are worried. Maybe I am too. But I'm not staying long enough to find out. What I know is that I don't like being cornered. And I can fight harder scared than they can angry. We're getting out. And I'm buying when we do.
Champion, it is beginning.
It has begun. Dun, 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 dun. Meredith, where's your weapon?
Break it down.
How? You're just gonna bear hug the door?
Stop them!
Yeah, you guys weren't exactly in a defensive position. You should have been up on the rafters casting spells down or whatever. So, fun fact, if you actually play this at, if you side with the Templars, this bit is actually, if I remember correct, is actually harder. I think it's kind of meant to, their way of being like, yeah, the Templar are still technically in the wrong, because again, it's Anders who did this, not them. Because if you, because you can see there's Isabella and Aveline right there helping in the fight. If you side with the Templars, the only because you still have you're fighting in instead of fighting your way out. That's what we're doing. We're gonna fight our way out to get to Meredith. But when we fight our way in, we only have the 4 companions we brought. We don't have anyone else.
Drown us as infants. Why wait? Why give us the illusion of hope? I refuse to keep running. I won't wait for her to kill me.
I hope you aren't giving up without taking a shot at Meredith.
I'm not giving up. I am giving in. Quentin's research was too evil, too dangerous, so I put it aside. But I see now there is no other way.
Okay, so if you remember, Quentin was the guy who killed her mom. And unfortunately...
Meredith expects blood magic, and I will give it to her.
So...
Make her help us all.
So in this playthrough where you side with the mages, yeah, he says, by the way, you only learn Quentin's name if you have that other guy with you. So if you don't have him with you, you don't actually know who Quentin even is. So that's the only other time you get an inclination that Orsino's actually corrupt. By the way, what he turns into, you actually fight some of these things in a DLC to the first game, which I didn't play because it's a separate quest and I don't like it. Also, that thing's fucked up. Anyway, but yeah, now we actually get help for this fight. Anyway, if you did side with the Templars, when he shows up here, he would say something by, it's like, it's now time to use... Like, he says something that is more incriminating, because like he said, Quentin's research was too dangerous, so I put it aside. It only implies that he had it somehow, not that he was necessarily a part of it, given the fact that, I don't know, like I said, it's a plot point that is so underdeveloped, it is frustrating, you know? But the point is, like I said when we encountered Quentin, Orsino was helping Quentin with his research. So, that's how he knew Orsino. And so that's how he knew Quentin. Orsino was supposed to be secretly a blood mage this whole time. So, yeah, that's how to explain this game. I love it. Yeah, that story does suck a little bit. Oh, arcane horror.
I'll deal with this.
Thank you, brother. Oh, actually, hold on. Now that I have control over you again.
Now you fall! That's a lot of blood. Go down! There!
This fight's kind of a pain in the ass. It's very repetitive. You get like a few shots to attack the head before it just spits out more corpses. Kill them, and then it's... Okay, I mean, we've hurt him enough, so if it goes back to the main body. I love that even though we're pulling at his tongue, we're able to pull the head out before the tongue rips. Yeah, I guess, Walter, so you know, by turning yourself into a flesh golem, you don't actually get a shot at Meredith like you specifically said you wanted.
Capable of anything. We cannot afford to.
Sweet, level ups. Petrifying. Okay, at this point, I'm just gonna put it all into dex so we can get some extra damage for you. You get it all into strength. Some constitution. Not journal. Forgot to check. That's really powerful. It's interesting that Orsino staff would actually be like would be weaker than those other ones I picked up. But it looks cool, so I'm going to use it. Yeah, again, I'm not a very smart person. I remember one of the things, so I have this on Xbox 360. Back when my Xbox still could access the internet, it can't anymore. One of the things you could buy for your avatar was actually Orsino staff. Diamonds! You know, I do actually find it a little funny that Orsino is like, we got to get back to the gallows to defend ourselves there, but... And then Meredith's like, I'm going to go gather the Order, but I'm like, both the Order and the Circle's HQ is in the gallows, so... I don't know. It doesn't seem... I mean, yeah, it's still probably more defensible than trying to defend the Hanged Man or whatever, but you get what I'm saying? Hey, Sandal. Not sure I'll take some more of those. Enchantment. Okay, I get all the defensive runes.
Enchantment?
Yes, enchantment. Seriously, what are you, Sandal? I swear. I mean, yeah, maybe you could simply just be a boy talented with enchantment. Like, that's fine. By the same token, I'm like, I feel like they were still building something else on. I realized maybe that letter that I missed, that might have been that missing scene with Sebastian that I was talking about or whatever. Oh. Titty pop. guess that one from before wasn't the last one.
Let's finish this! Stay down.
I don't know why the Desire Demons were cut from the sequels. Because, I mean, okay, maybe they were too scandalous, but the sex scenes get way more salacious as the games go on. I find it hard to believe that that one demon design was too far, you know? And I'm not saying that just because I'm a horny fuck who wants to see demon titties. I am, and I do, but
How about you?
it's just... Even if they altered their design, like, I think it'd be kind of cool if the Desire Demons became less about outward sex. Because there are other... Desires can be things that are non-sexual, you know? Again, I'm going to bring up Darksiders 3 again. I love how that game portrayed the Demon of Lust. Because the people that she infected, or that they infected, they were, first off, they were androgynous, meaning that it's like, they could, it kind of reminds me of Desire from the Sandman series, that they were androgynous in their appearance. Because it's like, that way they could be like, I'm whatever you want me to be. I'm not male, I'm not female, and that's what Lust from Darksiders was. But it's like, Desire can be a lot of things, and that's why I wish the Desire Demons weren't just dropped, you know? Because I feel like there was a lot more that could have been done with the concept of a Desire Demon, you know? That wasn't just, again, purely sexual in nature. Because again, like in the first Dragon Age game, when we went to the tower, there was that Desire Demon that had latched onto a Templar that basically, you know, trapped him in an illusion where she basically, it's like he was married with a wife and children, you know? And again, sure, it involved, because like the Desire Demon was like playing the role of the wife in his delusion or whatever, but, and yes, they had kids, which means they'd have to have intercourse in his delusion or whatever, but at the end of the day, he desired more for like home and family rather than just, I want, you know, dirty hanky panky with the demon girl, you know? But still, I think you get what I'm getting at, you know? Yeah, they're both just Pride Demons. Sorry, what I mean by that is I'm like, are they named Pride Demons in their towns? You know, I realized, so there was a scene that took place, well, in Fainrail's, the dream walking element that took place here. Or at least it took place in a dream here. And we fought Pride Demons in this one as well. Excellent. I just realized I looked it up. this is why you always do stuff that maybe you don't necessarily want to do for the experience. The Shield of Resolute. Do you mean resolution? No, you mean Shield of Resolute. You know, one thing that I do really appreciate about Xenoblade Chronicles X, I've been playing through that lately on in my free time. I do plan on doing that one for the channel at some point, but I want to actually beat it once for the first time, because I got it back on the Wii U. I didn't get it when it was new. I actually played it for the first time after a lot of the online features had shut down. So I didn't get the full experience of it, so that's why I'm trying to play it. Well, I can get the full experience, which is probably why I should prioritize streaming it. Well, anyway, that's beside the point. But one thing I really appreciate about about Xenoblade Chronicles X is that you have the ability to, you can equip whatever you want, but then it's also like, hey, what do you want to visually have your character visually look like? So it's like, sure, you can wear this armor that's better, but if you want your character design to always look like they're just walking around in nothing but their underwear or just a t-shirt and jeans, you can do that, and you don't lose the benefit of the armor you're wearing, you know? I wish more games had features like that, you know? And yes, I'm saying that because, once again, I do want my characters to look cool, because I am 100% an aesthetic whore. Okay.
And here we are, champion. At long last.
Sup, bitch?
I imagine you've wanted to be rid of me for some time.
I bear you no ill will. You've done this to yourself.
So
you
you
were
say.
never part of this circle, and I tolerated that. But in defending them, you've chosen to share their fate.
Knight Commander, I thought we intended to arrest the champion.
You will do as I command, Cullen.
Also,
No.
she does this to you even if you side with
I defended
her.
you when Thrask started whispering you were mad, but this is too far.
And I will say this makes
I
more
will
sense.
not allow insubordination. We must stay true to our path.
Andraste's dimpled butt cheeks.
You recognize it, do you not? Your lyrium, taken from the deep roads. The dwarf charged a great deal for his prize.
It seems a lot more sword-like than I remember.
All of you! I want her dead!
Also, this damn idol
This is not what the order stands
comes
for.
up in the next 2
Knight
games.
Commander,
as well.
step down. I relieve you of your command.
My own knight captain falls prey to the influence of blood magic.
So, yeah, she's been crazy
all
this
have.
whole time.
You're all weak. Allowing the mages
That's
to
what I
control
don't
your
like
minds,
about
to
Meredith,
turn
is
you
that by the
against
time,
me.
yes, she didn't have this sword when we first meet her,
Don't need any
but
of
we
you.
know for a fact
I will
Bartrand had already
protect this
sold
city
the
myself.
idol. meaning she had it at that point.
You'll have to go through me.
Thank you, Colin.
Idiot boy. Just like all the others.
She's lost it, just like Bartrand.
Where'd all the other Templars go?
Blessed are those who stand before the corrupt and the wicked, and do not falter!
By the way, if it wasn't clear, that sword is made of red lyrium. Not the regular blue lyrium, red lyrium. And as we would learn in the next game, red lyrium is dangerous because, so lyrium isn't just like a mineral that you find. Lyrium is like special, and lyrium is actually alive to a certain extent. Red lyrium is what happens when lyrium catches the blight. Yeah, it's a spoiler, but it's a spoiler for Inquisition, which is a 10-year-old game, so I don't care.
Your servant begs you for the strength to defeat this evil.
By the way, when I first played through this game, the textures on her armor glitched, so it looked like she was glowing white instead of white. And I didn't realize it was a glitch. I thought she'd like summoned an aura around her or something. Now, I don't 100% know how the Red Lyrium is doing this, but damn, it makes for an impressive final boss fight, you know? Oh yeah, in addition to having help from all of our companions in this fight, we also get Colin fighting with us. I mean, I think it says a lot. So Colin, who survived having his brain tortured in the Ferelden Circle, is like, no, Meredith has gone too far with how she's treating the mages. I think that says a fuck ton about just how far gone Meredith actually is, you know? Fist of Fury! She's taking damage quicker than Orsino was. By the way, even if you cited the Templars, you fight Orsino first and then her, so she's always the final boss fight. No matter. Hey, Isabella, what you do? Oh yeah, even those other statues start... If the fight drags on long enough, every single statue in this courtyard comes to life and attacks you, except for the birds. I don't think the birds come alive, but see, like more of them are getting up. These guys will start crawling down. Exploded. Not Vobari. Oh, yep. Now they're Now they're crawling off the walls. Commander Meredith, faster than a speedy mullet, more powerful than overwhelming race. What the fuck? I forgot that the big statues can get back up and start crab walking around. And can leap tall buildings in a single bound. Satisfied you are. Lightning, thunderbolts, and lightning, they're frightening you. Damn statue, get back up. Oh wait, no, that's not one getting back up. Wow. Back up, getting up. First time. Which is impressive considering those statues were probably just pure bronze or whatever, so they weren't technically made to separate in this manner.
No, it cannot be enough. I will stop it. That's enough. Let's finish this.
I will say, despite, you know, mages being super powerful, so they're not perfect analogs for real-world marginalized groups, the language she's using does mirror anti-LGBTQ language.
Make her paid your humble service.
And again, I know the idol explodes here, or the sword explodes here. They do retcon that in later games. That's not actually, it didn't actually explode, because, again, it does, especially in the third game, it does come up. And she has now been transformed into pure lyrium. I also know, like, there was a web series, like, not the Felicia Day one, this one was actually good, that indicated that Meredith actually was still alive, despite being this statue, but I don't know the full deal. You know, I'm gonna Google that real quick. Bye, bitches.
Word of the slaughter spread quickly. The champion's name became a rallying cry, a reminder that the mighty Templars could be defied. She had defended the mages against a brutal injustice, and many lived to tell the tale. The circles rose up and set the world on fire. More Templars arrived at Kirkwall to restore order, but we were already long gone. We vanished into the hills, and circumstance eventually forced us all to leave the champion's side. Well, all of us except for Fenris. You still hear the stories, of course. With each telling they grow, even if, at the core, remains the truth. A new legend had been born. So that's it. That's the whole story.
Then Meredith provoked the Circle. She was to blame.
Or that damned idol was. Or Anders. Take your pick.
Even so, had the champion not been there...
It might never have even gone that far.
I see.
So how is hearing all this going to help? You've already lost all the circles. In fact, haven't the Templars rebelled as well? I thought you decided to abandon the Chantry to hunt the mages.
Not all of us desire war, Varric. Please, if you know where the champion is, you must tell me. She is a hero. A woman that the mages would listen to. Someone who was there at the beginning. The champion could stop this madness before it's too late. She may be the only one who can.
Is that what this is all about? In that case, I wish I could help you.
Just tell me one thing, then. Is the champion dead?
Oh, I doubt that.
Then you are free to go, Varric. May the Maker watch over you during the dark times ahead of us.
Same to you, Seeker. Same to you.
Okay. Yeah, it's confusing.
So, did you...
Gone. Just like the Warden.
So outside the DLC, this originally is the only time you'd actually see Liliana in this game.
That is no coincidence.
So, do we proceed with the original plan? Or keep looking?
It is in the Maker's hands now. We put our faith in him.
There is the symbol for the Inquisition. Okay. That's Dragon Age 2, everybody. And of course, now that I'm streaming it, I got some glitches that I've never encountered before. Like I said, this is not the best Dragon Age game. In fact, it's arguably one of the worst Dragon Age games. Whether or not you find this one or Veilguard worse is ultimately up to personal opinions. But I think this one will always be my favorite because of how much I love Purple Hawk in particular. Okay. That's all I've got for you today. Next time I return... Oh boy. I will be starting my most hated video game of all time. There is no game on this planet that pisses me off as much as this one does. I mean, okay, I'm sure there might be some where the gameplay is worse. Like, the gameplay of this game isn't bad, but for personal reasons, I can't fucking stand this game. So, I might stream it later today, depending on... Because Abby needs more help with her play. Depending on how long that takes, I might stream it on Monday, because I have Monday off. I don't know, but... It's coming, so stay tuned for that. I'm not sure when, but I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.